It's no secret that electric vehicles are popular in 2022. Last year was the best year yet for EVs, with electric vehicles surpassing diesel vehicles. From 2035, in the EU, the production of internal combustion engines is set to end, and almost every car manufacturer has an electric-focused strategy. But, regardless of the automobile industry or the politics surrounding combustion engines, should you, the consumer, consider buying an electric vehicle? Electric cars are not for everyone. Only you can decide whether an electric car is right for you or not. Next, we will present the top tips to consider before buying an electric vehicle. First tip. What type of electric car to buy? If you're thinking about buying an electric car, you should figure out what kind of vehicle you want. EVs are available in the same shapes and sizes as traditional cars in 2022, ranging from SUVs and small city runarounds to 7-seaters and even sports cars. If you have a family, we recommend some of the larger SUVs, such as the Audi e-tron and Mercedes EQC, and if you want performance and style, a Porsche Taycan or Audi e-tron GT should be at the top of your list. Finally, if you want a more versatile vehicle, look into the Honda e, Kia EV6, or Tesla Model 3. Don't forget about aesthetics. Some drivers prefer a more traditional-looking car, such as the Mini Electric, while others may prefer something very futuristic, such as the Hyundai Ioniq 5. One of the most exciting aspects of electric vehicles is that they have something for everyone. Number 2. Price and running costs. Electric cars continue to be an expensive option, due in part to the materials and manufacturing process required, as well as the significant R&D and investment costs borne by car companies as they rapidly transition from fossil fuels to battery technology. Don't be turned away by high electric car prices, it's the running costs that matter. List prices are only one aspect of the total cost of vehicle ownership, which becomes much more bearable when you consider the relatively low running costs of EVs, which are often around 60% of those of a comparable petrol model, depending on usage patterns. EVs not only benefit the environment by reducing tailpipe emissions, but they also save money on running costs. Electric vehicles are less expensive to maintain than ICE vehicles, because they have less moving parts and can be maintained at a lower cost. Charging an electric car is typically far less expensive than fueling a petrol or diesel vehicle, even when using more expensive public charging stations. With the rising cost of electricity, the gap has narrowed in recent years, but most electric vehicle owners will still save by charging an electric car at home, rather than buying petrol or diesel for a similar car. It's not just about the purchase price, so keep in mind any government grants, fuel savings, and benefit-in-kind tax breaks, for example, if you'll be using your electric vehicle as a company car. Number 3. Battery range. Another factor to be taken into consideration is the range. Many motorists are still concerned about range anxiety in 2022, despite the fact that the actual range of electric vehicles has increased significantly. For example, cars like the Mercedes EQS 450 Plus can travel 453 miles between charges. And even cheaper EVs, like the Kona Electric, can now get 300 miles out of their integrated batteries. It is important to consider the number of miles you'll travel per day, week, or even month. When connected to a home charging station, or a nearby public power station, most electric car owners rarely reach the upper limits of their range, or charge less frequently than predicted. As a recommendation, add up your most frequent and longest journeys, and you'll see how feasible having an electric car could be. Take into account any longer trips you take on a regular basis, but don't let range anxiety get the best of you if you take an unplanned cross-country road trip. Most electric vehicles now have a range of at least 150 miles on a single charge. Models from Volkswagen, Kia, and Hyundai, to name a few, can travel nearly 300 miles on a single charge. Tesla Model 3 long range have a real-world range of around 300 miles. Driving an electric car will become increasingly enjoyable as range and infrastructure improve. After you've determined your usage and range, you can consider whether you want futuristic looks, or something that will blend in more. As technology advances, and the average range of electric vehicles increases, a growing number of people will discover that they are able to live quite happily with an electric vehicle. 4. Charging time. If you have off-street parking and want to buy an electric car, you should get a designated charging station installed. Home charging on the AC grid is limited to 7.4 kilowatts, and almost all EVs can now charge at that rate. If you don't have off-street parking, you'll have to rely on public or work charging stations. The main consideration when selecting a fully electric vehicle is rapid or DC charging. What does this mean exactly? DC charging allows you to quickly add extra range to your vehicle. For example, 20 minutes plugged into a 50 kilowatts rapid charger at a highway service station will give you approximately 60 miles more range. If you drive a lot daily, or go on long journeys, consider buying an EV with a high DC charging rate to charge faster and make your vehicle as future-proof as possible. In the United States, every battery comes with a warranty that lasts at least 8 years, or up to 10,000 miles. Even so, you should always read the warranty terms because there may be other caveats. Kia, for example, provides a 10-year battery pack warranty, whereas Hyundai provides lifetime coverage. Electric vehicle batteries usually last 10 to 20 years, but certain factors can shorten their lifespan. Batteries, for example, may degrade faster in warmer regions, because heat does not mix well with EVs. Furthermore, charging the battery at a level 3 station can cause the battery to overheat due to the rapid charging process. This process can have a negative impact on performance and longevity. However, many car manufacturers have already learned these lessons and include safety features in their vehicles. Number 5. Performance. Electric cars are heavier than petrol and diesel models, causing them to feel less agile on twisty roads, but they have a bunch of great advantages to the way they drive that many individuals will find appealing. For starters, you get almost silent cruising, with virtually no noise from the electric motors. In traffic, the car slows down when you lift your foot off the accelerator, making it possible to drive around town with only one pedal, rarely touching the brake. When accelerating in a traditional car with gears, whether manual or automatic, there is a slight delay between gear changes. In a fully electric car, which has no gears at all, the power to the electric motor is instant and constant. This means no acceleration lag and a very sleek implementation of battery power. All this creates a very relaxed experience. However, the instant acceleration generated by the electric motor means that even everyday EVs have the potential to leave a hot hatch standing when pulling away from traffic lights. Many electric vehicles have incredible acceleration. For example, the Tesla Model S Plaid is said to reach 60 miles per hour in 1.99 seconds. If raw power and acceleration are important to you, an EV could be the answer. In certain aspects, owning an electric car requires you to reconsider your driving habits. You inevitably embrace a gentler, more relaxed style, which enhances your battery range, and frequently results in you arriving at your destination feeling more energized than you would otherwise. Finally, only you can decide whether it's time to buy an electric car, because only you know your driving habits and budget. If an EV is within your price range, and the battery range isn't an issue based on daily journeys, purchasing an electric vehicle is a great idea. It's not just less expensive to run, but it is also eco-friendly, usually fast, and a way to future-proof your transport solution for years to come.